Well. So, as you can see, we have a couple of new, well, we have one tractor here. This is the 8930 that we picked up a couple of episodes back. Um, and of course, we have our Batwing, John Deere Batwing. Um, we also have, we just picked this one up. Um, I think it's got, yeah, it's got 68. Wait, one of them's got a few, they're both used. Um, yeah, this one's got less hours on it. So that's going to be our mower today. This is going to be, we finally got this, and we picked up this one so that we could get us a nice little windrower. Um, Not sure how this is going to work, but it's hooked up, it's ready to go, all that nifty stuff. How y'all doing today? Everybody doing all right? Um, I've been having an interesting day. Just got done cooking and all kinds of nifty stuff. Um, Actually cooked up some hamburgers and um, what else did I get? Oh, did some brownies and some blueberry muffins. Yeah, you know, stuff like that. Good evening, Dust Bunny. How are you, ma'am? So yeah, we picked up that newer tractor. It's only got 23 hours on it, and we've got that one that's got 60 hours on it. I guess we should kind of jump up here. So, a couple of things have changed. We got this in wheat, and we got this one in wheat. Um, it has not been rolled, so we're only going to get about 95% out of that. We have, um, yeah, we have fully fertilized both of those. Um, I don't know why this has got these in here because that field is plowed. Um, yeah, it's plowed. Maybe I need to plow it again. I don't know. That weird stuff. Anyway, I'm going to remove this shortly. This is our road that we've got built coming in. Um, this is by no means finished just yet, but we've got to go into the house, and then we've got to come in this way, runs along, back through here, and back to here. We have a fair few bits of wood. I have not sent that out just yet. These were previous, well, some of these were previous, and we've got two sawmills going, so between the two, I think we got 6 of these and 7 of those between this sawmill and that sawmill. This actually did manage to produce one furniture. One. One freaking furniture. Anyway, these are growing up nicely. Um, Hopefully we'll have them working. We'll be able to get these up. I think they've got they got a few more months before they're completely grown. This has been fully planted now. So all of these, this is all oak going here. I am going to have to tear into this forest because I am running out of lumber over here. So yeah, we're going to have to tear into this. I'm going to try to be somewhat selective about what I take out. And then I'll have to figure out how I'm going to work it to replant some of this because all this over here is already planted in lodgepole pine. And I want to plant about half of this ish and maybe more lodgepole or possibly more oak. I haven't made up my mind yet. If we plant this in more oak, when they get grown, we're probably going to have to upgrade our sawmills because I don't know if those two small ones will be able to keep up. Anyway, we did move our little oh, what's it called? Our field storage over here. Now this is where I can purchase fertilizer and stuff. I got one furniture, one. So we still have one more furniture before that phase progress level 10 is complete. And then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for progress 11. That is taking much longer than anticipated over there. I'm still sleeping in a freaking tent. Okay, so our goats. Let's go over and have a look see at them real quick. So if you remember right, I put an additional 50 goats in here. Well, um, we don't we we have 150 now. I'm not 100% sure how that happened, but we have 150 now. Um, and we got a fair bit of milk from here. I think it was four or 5,000 liters. And then over here, we got another 50 of these, and we have 150 now. So apparently they're reproducing, and we got 50 out of it. Food and water are still good on both. We got a fair bit of wool out of here. So yeah, we got three. Wait, yeah, we got 3,000 liters of milk out of that right there. And I think we got 3 or 4 wool out of the sheep. So not too bad, not too bad. We got a sprayer that came up in the used section, which I was very happy about. And we actually put this building in. We had this one, we had that one, but this is new. This came up in the used sales. It's a bit wider than that one, so we can't actually start rolling. I really didn't feel like rolling that field with that one. So actually, while we're sitting here, we'll go ahead and sell that off. Where's the rollers? Yeah, that one. Yeah, we'll sell that because I just really don't feel like dealing with that one. We picked up a different cedar planter. This is a case. It was used. It will seed and fertilize, but we need to put some more fertilizer in there. It only has 830 liters worth of seed, but beggars can't be choosers. So yeah, I like the goats and sheep are cool. We are looking at planting more sorghum in the oats and sorghum. Um, let's see which one is this one. In I think it's in March. I think it's oats. We'll plant oats in these two fields, and then in April, when we can do it, sorghum will go in this big field here. So yeah. Anyway, I think that brings us up to date. Yeah, I did put in this road, and I made a little bypass around it because, as you can tell, there's a bit of a bump there. And I didn't feel like going flying on my tractor. So we just kind of put a little bypass in. This was where I had the shop at, like the shop delivery. I'm going to move that over shortly over there. And this will just be our tree farm. So, first thing we need to do today, and I got to get rid of this tree. It's in the road. Yeah, it's in the road. It's like I can't do anything. Like I can't chainsaw it down. It doesn't even recognize it's there. So until it gets to a certain growth stage, it doesn't even realize the thing is there. But anyway, we are about to hop in this old girl, and we are going to cut this grass. Yeah, mm, that took a little bit, but I mean it's worth it because like that will produce, like I said, I think it's around 21,000 liters of wood per oak tree. Um, so yeah, once we get, um, I mean, we might switch out those once those use up the trees that they have. I might consider going in and grabbing a bigger sawmill. Um, yeah, I mean, I still have the hand planting available because I wanted to do that. But I was thinking about maybe getting a bigger sawmill, sort of like this. Um, this is called the Wood Miser LT15. I don't know. I don't think I've ever used this particular sawmill. And if I have, it's been a very, very long time because I don't remember it. I know I have more sawmills in here. Yeah, well, here's a really one. This one. Look at this. 300,000 for this sawmill. What? Seriously? Um, let's see. Got a couple more in here somewhere, I know. This one, no. This is the one that puts out like 18 pallets of furniture in one shot, type of thing. Um, so no, we won't be using that one. We're trying to keep this somewhat realistic. Yeah, probably so. I'm probably going to put it down. I know there's a couple of others I have. Um, yeah, these two produce really quickly. I haven't used this one. This is supposedly the one that comes with the map. Um, and there's these two. They're they're not bad. And this one can produce buckets and stuff, but like, you know, it's not really what I need. But yeah, and then that's a distributor. Never mind. I'm an idiot sometimes. And then there's this one. It does come with a shed. You can customize it to have a shed. But yeah. Anyway, I need to get some mowing done because it's November, and if I recall correctly, this is the last month I am able to plant grass, which I might not be able to plant it, but I will be able to plow the fields and get it ready for planting early next year, which is the general idea. So, yeah, yeah. So yeah, we will be mowing grass. I know that sounds exciting, doesn't it? It is kind of relaxing though. So I did put these little areas in like this so that I could know where my boundaries are. But but we're never turning down grass because we do have sheep and goats to feed. Of course, we will be looking at getting it's another thing about our forestry is it helps us a lot to get um, the money we need to actually turn around and buy. Yes, see, I'm mowing. We got this big, beautiful John Deere Batwing so that we could mow quicker, make it go quicker, faster, whatever you want to call it. So it won't take 10 forevers. Uh, this thing is much wider than either the sickle mower I had originally that I started with, a sickle bar mower. That thing took forever. Now, granted, we have a lot of grass in our storage over there. I am debating on whether to put in fermenting silos. I'm not sure about that yet. Otherwise, I'm going to have to hunt a forage wagon and put up a, oh, what's it called? A bunker silo to turn it into silage. That seems like it might not be the greatest of ideas at the moment. So yeah, I've still got to work on that. I may save that for next year. I mean, TMR is one thing I do know how to do quite well. I love owning cattle in this game. There is a mod. I don't know if I have it installed. It's called I think it's the Real Livestock mod or something like that. And I'm planning on testing it out at some point. Just maybe not on this particular save. But yeah, I've got to get this all mowed up so that we can do. I want to plow and put in an actual grass field around here. Don't get me wrong, the meadow grass is fine. It does good. Obviously because we got practically a full freaking shed of it. But in saying that, I want to test out the grass and see just how well it does on this particular map. Some maps it works really well, and other maps depends on the map and the map maker. So yeah. But yeah, as you can see, this thing boogies right on along. Much easier to mow this at 14 miles an hour than the other one. I can't remember what it was. The sickle bar mower, I think, was 9 miles an hour, something like that. Was not fast. And of course, it was only about as wide as the tractors. Excuse me. Didn't get the mute button quick enough. But I mean, like I said, we did get a fair bit off this meadow grass. Can't really complain about that. Gotta get used to this tractor again. I do like this tractor. And it fits with our pre-2000 model tractors that we limited ourselves to. So it's pretty good. Yeah, I wanted to get this started earlier, and I thought I'd hit the pause button on this, like I'd put pause on the game. I was prepping this save for tonight, and I thought I'd hit pause, like gone into the setting and pause the game while I was actually cooking some of the food I was cooking. And then I came back in here and found out, nope, had not paused it. So yeah, we're at 3 something in the afternoon now. Oops. So yeah, I had planned on doing some plowing and go ahead and plowing this up and getting it ready for planting for grass seed, but eh, it's fine. But we can, I believe we can plant grass in March, if I remember correctly. I believe we can plant grass then, so we'll probably wait until then, plow it all up, and mow it at that point, or plant it at that point. I'll use the new planter because it's got it's much wider. It's like 5.4 in comparison to the Alice Chalmers we have, which I think is 3.6. I believe that's right. So yeah, it would work better if we use the new seeder on this big area like this, because this will wrap basically all the way around in a big L shape. Um, because we're gonna sort of do it around where the animal pens will be. So the planted grass area will be sort of like right behind these pens, and then we'll come all the way down to the edge. I'm not sure how we're going to work that yet. I'm still thinking about that one. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way the setup's going so far. Obviously, there are a few things I will need to do. Put in some more decorative trees and stuff like that. Of course, that costs money, so yeah. And as you can tell, we've been spending a fair bit of money. I was up to over, I don't know, almost 300,000, and by the time I got done buying equipment and putting in another sawmill and the really crazy wood chip products production, which basically will run like crazy and provide you with way more stuff in 1 month than you could almost get in a year. Well, that's not true. I did the calculations on it the other night. 7 pallets a year. You're looking at, like, I think it was 72 pallets per year that you would get out of the production, and it made 46 in a month. So I think we're basically turning it on once a month, basically. Or I say once a month, no, basically once a year. I probably will turn it back on and watch it very closely. Once we get our 7 pallets that we need, I'll have to do the calculations again. Will it run long enough to get the pallets that we need for the year? And then we'll sell off about 7 pallets per month. Unless we can find something to use the OSB or MDF for. At that point, then we won't be selling it, we'll be using it for something. I think I might be on Top Chat. Hang on just a second. Oopsies. Yep, looked like I was on Top Chat. Apparently I was in the wrong one. As you can tell, I am new at this, so, I don't even know where to be sometimes. I just drive a tractor, guys. Like, literally. That's what I'm doing right now. And before that, I just drove a big rig. So, hopefully you can bear with me a little bit. why is there two different chats? Why is there, I mean, you're live. Why would you not just go automatically into live chat? That makes no sense. And again, it is YouTube. Oh, well, hello, Miss Hillbilly. I am very sorry I missed your chat. Please forgive me for that. Like I said, new to this whole live thing, new to the YouTube thing, really. Um, hope you're having a good evening and your week's been going well. Hope you had a good Christmas and New Year's. Do appreciate you dropping in. If if you're still here, my apologies for not seeing that. Well, I mean, they got, you know, you you know, technically they did get something right, the traffic, because the traffic drives like that in real life. Like, I've witnessed it on numerous occasions. So they nailed that part. Um, John's got that part correct. The other stuff, not so sure. I mean, it's like they put deformation of ground in the game, and I'm like, is that really what we wanted? You know what I mean? Were we really wanting deformation of the ground in the game? I don't know about everybody else, but that was definitely not on my bingo card. So, uh, well, I can see you now, Miss Hillbilly. I will in future make sure that it's on there because, like I said, I'm not really sure why YouTube doesn't put you. I mean, you're live. Why would you not put yourself into, like, why would it not put it into live chat? But you know, it's just things like that that make you go, you know what I mean? It's just kind of weird, but it's fine. We fixed it. I missed a spot. Actually, I missed. Dang it! This big old mower, and I missed that little bit of something right there. That's just terrible. I appreciate that, Miss Does Bunny. You know, I am forgetful. I sleep sometimes, and I'll forget what I did the day before. Well, I mean, that's a really good question, Miss Hillbilly. Why would you have Top Chat if you're live? I mean, I might understand it if you, I don't know, like, it's like when like when I record a video and I get ready to put it up and it says, do you want to make it a premiere? And I'm thinking to myself, well, what's the difference between, I mean, how does that even work? I've never even tried the premiere stuff. But I guess, like, I did watch, I think it was Farmer Donkey's premiere on one of his videos. And I'm not really sure if it was a pre-recorded premiere or, I do sleep, thank you very much. I had 3.5 hours today or something like that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 3.5 hours. Maybe it was 4. I don't remember. Um, but he did the premiere, and I'm not really sure if that was a live premiere or if it was a recorded premiere. And what I was just saying from Miss Hillbilly, like, because it seemed like he was in the chat, but it was um, like it was a recorded premiere, and it wasn't like live, and maybe that's why it's got talk chat so that shows up in the premieres. I really just don't know. And it's really hard to understand sometimes. But why would you only want? I mean, really, why would you only want something that shows only certain chats? I mean, I'm live. I want to see everybody's comments or criticisms or whatever. I mean, if even in my recorded videos, I want to see all the comments. It's like when I go into some of them, like some videos I watch, it's like, oh, we're just showing you the top comments. And it's like, why are you just showing me the top comments? I want to see all the comments. Why are you showing me just new comments? Well, how do you know if it's... Who's determining what's spam chat, though? YouTube? Yeah, okay. They can't even figure out what hate speech is, much less anything else. And the fact that there is no such thing as people that have a First Amendment right, I'm sorry to say that there's no such thing as hate speech per se. Everybody has a right to say whatever they want. You don't have to like what they say. And there are people that have said things that I really don't like, but on the other side of the coin, they have the right to say it. And sitting here telling somebody, oh, well, we're going to block your chat because of that, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody came into one of my videos and commented and said a lot of bad words and stuff like that, well, yeah, you're going to get told, no, that just doesn't happen here because, you know, I try to keep it as family friendly as possible. I occasionally slip up. I try not to, but I occasionally do. So, yeah. The K brand? Really? You can't say, what, Kubota? Can't say that. Or Kiati. Is Kiati even in the game? Like, I went to my Massey Ferguson dealer yesterday. I had to pick up some stuff. And there was a Kiati, Kioti, Kiati brand tractor there. And I'm like, what in the world is a Kiati? I've never even heard of it. Is it like Kia making tractors now or what? I have no idea what you... Oh, you mean the Kuhn? I can't even pronounce that. I don't even know how to say that, to be quite honest. You can't say that? Really? What? No, actually I didn't. That's funny. Um, I had no idea that was a thing. Honestly, I had no clue. That is weird. How is that? How is that even a problem? I don't. Obviously, I'm behind or something. Um, I just that makes zero sense. I was not being silly. I am silly occasionally, but like if I don't know, I honestly don't know. I have no idea, and I really had no idea you couldn't say that. That is just weird. Um, like how can you ban the name of an actual brand of farm machinery and call it spam? I mean, wow, amazing. Just really? Oh, okay. That's got to be the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I do. I am aware of the previous references to that name in regards to years gone by, but still. I mean, I haven't heard that word associated with that in a very long time. And I am 57. So, you know, yeah, I just, me. Well, you know, it is what it is. And look, nobody, YouTube is its own worst enemy as far as I'm concerned. Like, you put up a platform. I understand you have rules. I get that. And I understand you have certain requirements. I get that. But to pigeonhole, I guess you could say, um, a word because you think it is being used in a certain way is odd, to say the least. I mean, you know, we don't make all farm equipment. Like, you know, there are other places in the world that make farm equipment. Not everybody wants to buy a John Deere. Yeah, that was about the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. It's like, bro, they've had that name for eons, and you're going to rename them all because of what, precisely? Okay, whatever. Well, but it is a brand name, and it's not YouTube's job to tell people how to pronounce that or to dictate that you can't say that name when it's associated with a brand. I mean, obviously, I bet you if you Googled it, you would find out that that's somebody's last name over in Germany or something, or maybe Switzerland or somewhere like that. It's kind of funny because oh well, maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. I mean, if the brand gave them permission to use it, if it's an actual brand name, then I don't see why they wouldn't use it because it is a brand. I mean, it's like saying, okay, well, if Giants doesn't want us to say it, then Giants shouldn't put the name in the game. It's a pretty simple concept. That's just silly. I really think that some of these gaming companies and places like YouTube, Twitch, blah blah blah, really just go overboard sometimes. I mean, I grew up with the whole saying of, you know, sticks and stones. Um, I'm not really sure when words suddenly became hurtful. Yeah, well, that's true. That's absolutely true. I had a rant about giants the other day. I think it was my last video. And, you know, it's like I said, you know, they gave us deformation of ground here. And it's like, hmm, I don't actually recall asking for that. I was quite happy with FS22. And as far as I'm aware of, it didn't have ground deformation. Um, I mean, if anything, they should be working on the physics of this game. Um, I think it was in Welker's. Um, it's like I was watching Dust Bunny's video today, and she was talking about running over a car. Did you know that you can't run over those cars? They're like an immovable object. Um, Ask me how I know, because I hit one doing about 70 mile an hour in my Ford pickup truck with a load of hay on the back. And yeah, that the car that I hit did not move. I went flying, like literally. I went across an entire field. Um, Hay didn't go anywhere because it's strapped down. Hell of a strapping job by me. But literally, truck and trailer went flying across a field. And it wasn't no small field either. And I'm thinking to myself, wait. So I hit a car, and that sent me flying across a field, but the car stayed still. I'm so confused. And then they wonder why the racing game didn't do very good. Well, you can't even get the physics right in your farming game. What do you expect? Well, yeah, that would be nice. I mean, but that goes with any game to me. Before you start adding DLCs and all this other stuff, maybe make sure all the bugs in the game are fixed first. That would probably be the wisest choice. I've noted I had a few games where I played and they'll bring a DLC out, but they don't fix the bugs, previous ones in the game, and it either exacerbates that particular bug or makes it even worse to where the game's almost unplayable in certain aspects. Um, but I know that like people these days are very impatient. And I've noticed that like new game comes out and somebody wants to be the first one to complete the game, and it's like, and then they sit around and complain that they're bored because they basically speed run the game. And it's like, well, you didn't have to. Nobody twisted your arm and told you to do that. Kind of funny. I mean, to me, if I get 100, 150 hours in a game, um, as far as I'm concerned, I've got my money's worth out of it. I mean, I have over, what, I got like 90 something hours in this game. And just in this game save. Yeah, 91 hours in this game save. Figure that. So, I've got my money's worth out of it, even though I did rant a little bit about the DLCs. The DLCs to me just weren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Just weren't worth the bang for the, like, they didn't give you bang for buck, basically. But other than that, I mean, like, I've probably got 500 hours in this game. So, I mean, I could go out to Steam and look, but welfare save. I can't remember how much I got in the welfare save. In my Homestead challenge save, the one I did with Crust 2, I know I had 100 hours or so in it by itself. So, you know, like I say, I mean, if you can get 150 hours in a game, um, and let's say that game cost you $60, well, if you break that down by the hour, um, of how much money you spent per hour to have that entertainment, you'll probably find out you spent less on the entertainment of the game than you spend on Netflix every month or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, to me, 150 hours in a game, well worth it. Although I did really enjoy FS22. There was a lot of mods for FS22. A lot of things you could do. Um, I enjoyed the mining, the landscaping. Like I had actual vehicles that I could do landscaping with instead of the landscaping tools. The vehicles were the landscaping tools. I thought that was really, really cool. Um, I don't know if you can do that in 25 yet or not. But yeah, the base game of 25 was not was a little unexpected to me. Like in regards to how much well how much wasn't in it uh, from the get go. But yeah, FS22 is probably one of my favorite FS games. So I started playing in 15, and I've seen the progression. Um, yeah, I think overall 22 is definitely. I don't know. 19 was pretty good too, but yeah, I think even over 19, 22 would win. So I've obviously been going off kilter a little bit here, but whatever. It's getting mowed. We will have to do some work on this. Um, I mean, this is a fair bit of land here. I have to start selling some grass bales, I think. Um, or I'm gonna have to put in another storage or something, because that one is starting to get a little bit full. And I'm not even storing my wood products in there anymore. Only thing I'm storing in there is goat milk and wool. Although I could drop another storage unit over there, like holds about 50. That's what I've got over by the wood sawmills. I do have plenty of grass to make silage. Just think I'm gonna have to put up a silage, um, like a silo, a fermenting silo, because I really just at the moment don't have the room. It does, but if you look at the prices on grass, it's 88, tops out at 91. Um, I mean, I don't even like selling silage anymore. I mean, silage sells fairly decent on this one, 212 to 221. But I don't like, to me, silage is worth more um, to be used as TMR. So, like, what is, see, like, TMR sells for more. So I can make TMR and sell it and make pretty decent profit off it. Because I have a TMR production that uses silage, hay, and straw, and you know, yeah, I can I can make it pretty quick. I mean, I could do it old school and get one of the mixing wagons, but that takes time, lots of time. I wonder when they brought the like. I wonder when they brought mixing wagons out. Was that pre 2000? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't even know if a fermenting silo is an actual thing. I think it would be, but that's a good question too. I'll have to look that up as well. Um, Yeah, silage will always be worth more than grass, but if you really want to make money out of it, turn your silage and grass, turn your grass into hay, and turn your. I mean, you can turn hay or grass into silage. I think you can even turn straw into silage. Um, so yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons that if I decide I'm going to put it in a mixing wagon, I do the 6,500 liter square bales, the Heston bales, in grass. Like I do the grass bales in 6,500s. And if I do silage, I will do it in round bales of the 3,000 or 3,500. So what you'll do is you make round bales and then um, wrap them to turn them into silage. Get you the mixing wagon. Let's see where it is. Where's the dang? There it is. So if you get this mixing wagon here, yeah, this mixing wagon, it's 10,500 liters. You throw the 6,000 liters, 6,000 liter, sorry, 6,500 liter. Well, you can make them 6,000. So you throw the 6,000 in. I think it's 6,000 or even 6,500. You throw it in. You throw the 3,500 liter, although you can make 3,000 liter grass bales and wrap those, but you throw the 3,000 and 3,500 in. You got 500 liters left over. You put that in straw. It's a perfect TMR mix. And I can sit there and make that all day long. So, and in your Heston baler, that John Deere baler I've got, you can actually change the size of your bales. Like I run it at the top right now. So I run it at 6,500, the biggest bale you can make. But you can make a 6,000 liter bale. And that's normally what I do. I make 6,000 liter grass bale. Then I'll make a 3,500 liter round bale, wrap it, let it turn into silage, and then I'll mix those two together with the rest of it being straw, and we're good to go. Perfect TMR mix. Now, honestly, you don't need straw if you want to mix TMR. You don't need the straw. Straw is basically just a filler. So you could take 6,500 liter Heston bale, grass bale, and a 3,500 liter wrap silage round bale, throw them together, and you got 10,000 liters of perfect TMR. The extra 500 liters just fill basically. I mean, it's sort of like I don't understand why they put mineral feed into the game to put in TMR because it literally does nothing. Like TMR just improves, like, you know, gives production 100% for your dairy cows. Well, as a filler, I might. Me personally, I probably would. It would depend on what I have available, you know. And if I'm mixing it up, um, I'd probably use mineral feed in real life if it was me. I would skip the straw and just add a little bit of mineral feed in there, just to make sure that the cows are getting all the nutrients they needed. That's just me. But if I was doing it in real life, I probably wouldn't even bother with the straw. I just mix the hay and the solids together and be happy. Because that's what you need for silage. I've been saying grass, but you can make a 6,000 liter hay bale, Heston hay bale. Mix that in with your silage, and that's the perfect TM mix. I've been, like I said, I've been saying grass. That's wrong. It is grass for silage. Yeah, I would use mineral feed for cows. If I was mixing TMR in real life, there would probably be, I would add some mineral feed in there just to be sure that they're getting the right amount of nutrients. Um, because, it's like a lot of people say, well, you know, I've heard a lot of people talking about, how badly farmers treat their um, animals. And that's just, I'm not going to say there's not bad apples out there. There's bad apples in every profession that you want to look at. But the majority of farmers love their animals. Well, I mean, the 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 farmers, that's their livelihood. So of course they're going to love their animals. They're going to do everything in their power to keep those animals healthy so that they can keep producing milk or continue to produce beef or whatever. Um, I have never met a farmer that was happy to have a cow die from a disease or from coyotes or whatever they died from. Yeah, never met a farmer that was happy about that. Now I have met a few that were happy that one went to where they make, you know, places where they turn the cows into steak. Um, because we like steak. Well, I do. I don't know about everybody else, but I love steak. I actually had an ex-girlfriend that was talking about putting some cows on a farm and everything. She's like, "Well, I'm gonna name them." I said, "Don't be naming the cows." She's like, "Well, why not?" I said, "Because you're gonna be eating Bob or Diane or whatever you name them. Because that's what beef cows do. They feed people. Don't be naming the cows. You know, it's just gonna hurt your feelings because you're gonna get turned into steak." I've never understood the need to be naming. Actually, no. I like mine medium. Um, it's, it's odd because when I cook, I have to cook um, like my mom. She loves hers well done. I mean, like close to being burnt. Um, so I have to cook mine to medium and then pull mine off and then wait until hers is done being burnt before. Well, I mean, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are occasions where I do like mine medium rare. Um, it just kind of really depends on my mood. Most of the time, I like it just medium. I like that nice pink on the inside. Um, but there is occasions where I want it, just get her get her nice and brown on the outside and leave the rest of it alone. Throw it on the plate. A couple of minutes on either side and it'd be fine. So, but yeah, my mom, she likes her meat. She likes it done, like done done. It's got to be done all the way through. Can't be no pink in it whatsoever. It's like hamburgers. I like my hamburgers with a little bit of pink on the inside of them. Um, I mean, I've known people that, all their life, all they wanted was, you know, just a couple of minutes on each side. And yeah, that's basically knock the hooves off of it and, chase it across the fire and toss it on a plate. I've known plenty of people like that. And there are, on occasions, I'll eat it just like that myself. But every now and then, yeah, I like it just that nice pink flowing through it. And a lot of people ask me why do I eat it like you know medium rare. It's like, well, um, if you burn a piece of meat all the way through, like if you cook a piece of meat all the way through, you're not getting the full amount of benefit from that beef that you normally would, if you didn't cook it all the way through. Or at least that's my understanding. So you don't really want to cook it that way. All right. Well, we got the mowing done. I want to have this John Deere repainted, but you can tell it's well loved. Let's put it that way. All right. Put this back in, and we'll test this new windrower setup I've got. See how well this works. Oh, I'm gonna hit that post. Yep, yep, yep. Nope. Almost though. Alright. Whoops. And we'll reach over here and grab a baling, because that's what we're gonna need next. This one's already got grass in her, so that's a good thing. Alright. Now I'm sure everybody's sitting here looking at me like I've lost my mind. Um, wait. There we go. Why have I got two tractors? Well, there is a reason. Um, so that when seeding time comes, I'm able to put two tractors onto the seed. Well, that seems to be working pretty good. Good, 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 good. Um, Let me make you swing. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I really do need to figure out, well, this thing moves on. Yeah, it's a little squirrely in the corners there. I don't know what to think about that. There is another, um, seems like there's another part of it. If you look at the windrowers, it says this is, I don't know if that's part of it or not. Because, like, I attempted on another save to put this one and this one together and put it um, in here because you can hook it up right there. It did not go as planned. That's about all I can say about that. It did not work well at all. So still not 100% sure how that works, but you know what? It's better than just having one. So we're just going to be happy with that and go. Um, we will hopefully get a different setup at some point in the future. Because, yeah, these, yeah, you would think there'd be a way to make sure that they join together and wouldn't just go crazy off to one side or the other. But yeah, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Like I say, it's better than having me do one side and then have it come down the other side. So instead of making two or three passes on this, at least two, I've only got to make one pass. But I think what we're going to do instead of doing instead of trying to take the corners, we're just going to go and flip around and go the opposite direction. And there is another thing about it is that they do go quite, you know, 15 mile an hour. Can't complain about that. So we may actually wind up being able to get this all windrowed up and baled before daylight runs out. Maybe. If not, that's what we got lights for. Yes, I put work lights on this one because I love my other tractor, my little one, but they just ain't enough lights on that thing. I can't hardly see what I'm doing when it gets dark. And yeah, we're just gonna shoot straight through on this one. And yes, I'm aware I don't have access to this land. Thank you. Now, I have to admit, I wouldn't mind having this light set up on my tractor here at the house. Because I could just basically run all day and all night with this. Of course, they'd probably get upset if I was still out there at 10 o'clock at night, but I do have neighbors. So yeah, they might get a little upset. They have kids and stuff like that, so I have been out there past dark before, but I've only got the headlights on it. I haven't got haven't set up work lights on it, but every time I look at something like this, I'm thinking to myself, you know, probably wouldn't be a bad idea to set this up. Now this one works really, really well if you just going straight. So, um, let's see. I guess I could plow and plant grass tonight if I wanted to. Hmm, that's a really good question. I wonder. Well, I don't. If I had a second plow I could put, well, I couldn't do that either. Because I don't think you can set up a worker to do the plowing. Not when you're creating fields. Like once you're done creating the field, that's a different story. But I don't think they can create fields on their own, if I recall correctly. I don't think they can. Yeah, this is working out pretty good. I can definitely live with this. And like I said, we got that new rolling system, so that new roller is going to help a lot. Because we just, mm, that roller that I had was about, I think it was about 3 meters wide at most. It was just a little bit wider than the tractor. So it was, let me rephrase that. It was a little bit wider than my small tractor. I don't know if it was wider than this tractor because this tractor is a little bit bigger than the other one. And another good thing is that this isn't really using, like, you can go 15 miles an hour with this, and like I've played with some of the other windrowers we have, and they are not quite as quick as this. So this works out pretty good. And I don't remember where I got these. I think I got them. It wasn't on the Mod Hub site, like the official Mod Hub. It was off site. Um, I think it was King Mods that I picked them up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was King Mods. And I think that took me to the Icho, ITCO, Icho site. There's some interesting mods on that site. I did download another mod from that site, but when I attempted to load it in, now the problem is I don't know which mod it was, because I put two in here. They were from that site, and one of them just basically froze the game. Took both of them out, no problems. So I haven't actually tested to see which one of those was the problem, because I really didn't want to mess up this game save. So I've left those completely out. I may test them on my other game save. I got another one basically just like this one. So I might test them out on that one and see which one's giving the problem. Because I think one of them I kind of really did want to use, but yeah. But for now, pretty happy with the way everything's been going on this run. Um, Used vehicle sales is doing a little bit better. It took a while for me to actually locate the drawbar for these windrowers, but because yeah, earlier when I was showing you, one's for the right side and one's for the left side. Now it only shows you right, doesn't show you right left. It's just right. Well, I appreciate that, man. Um, I still want to put trees around the edges, trees along the road, but those are going to cost money. I guess I could plant some, but I do like using the in-game oaks that you can put down. because it gives me, like, I can change up the position of the oak. Like I can show the flat side to one, like toward the road, to where if I'm bringing a rig through there or something like that, it doesn't hit branches. So it makes life a little easier to do if I'm using the in-game ones that you can just place down. Uh, I also built a road around. Finally got around to doing that. So let's see. So this is what it's looking like from above. I think it's turned out pretty good. But yeah, I finally built this road around and cleaned up this area. Probably going to put a little driveway up through here, and then we'll probably turn this little area right here into a silent, sort of like a commercial area. Like put a bakery down there and maybe Granny's knitwear or something like that. I don't know yet. We'll see. I just don't want the um, I don't want the full-on commercial buildings near the homestead. Like I want to try to keep those separated out a little bit. Yeah, I think everything's coming along pretty good. Um, like I say, this is episode 9. Um, and I've already got over 91 hours in the game save, so that should tell you something. If I wasn't enjoying it, I probably wouldn't still be doing it. It is a little painful, but I did that to myself, so I can't really complain. Because I'm the one that made the rules. So I do have to wonder, like, if I wanted to, I wonder if workers can do this. Like, can they do the things like this? Huh. That's a really good question. Alright, so let's see here. I want to try to get this start straightened out. Run through here. Because technically the John Deere does a 3 wide cut. And with the windrowers, they do a 3 wide windrow. Somehow I've managed to get off to one side or the other at either end. Apparently I'm not very good at this sometimes, keeping straight rows, I guess you could say. But like I said now, this isn't bad for what it is, like the meadow grass. It produces fairly well considering it's just meadow grass. So I'm probably going to come back through because I'm going to miss part of that. So what I'll do, should be able to do this. Yep. And then when we get to the other end, I'll grab the rest of it from this side. That should do the trick. And hopefully I don't mess up and we have to do this elsewhere as well. I think they'll um, produce quite well. The ones I normally do because I've been doing them with just one of these windrowers. Um, I would do them. Yeah, let's just say it wasn't as much fun as it looked like. I would do them sort of like I'd scoop one side and then I'd skip over um, to the third row on the other cut. So I was doing six of them together. So I was making it into one windrow with six cut areas. Like this is three that I'm on, and there's three right beside me. So I would put those two together. Um, they produce really well. Um, but I've been collecting grass per se since I basically started the game save. Because before I started deciding to put trees down, I said, you know what? We're cutting all the grass and we're going to store it. And I got like, I don't know, 50 or so bales off that. 50, I think it was 57 bales I got off of the initial cut um, before I started the rest of it. So yeah. Yeah, I missed a little bit. Damn it. It is what it is. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. But we'll see how well it is when we get the baler out here and start grabbing. But admittedly, this is going much faster than it previously has because it took a lot longer to do with just one of these windrowers. So instead of making two trips, I'm making one. So I'm pretty happy about that. Anything that makes me a little bit more efficient makes me happy. Well, thank you, Mr. Damo. I greatly appreciate that. I did pop into your stream last night, and then I got distracted by something um, here at the house and wasn't able to message you. And then by the time I got back to get into your stream, sir, you had finished it. So my apologies for that. I did leave a like though, but I was able to look watch a little bit of your stream, sir. Unfortunately, I had other things I had to attend to. What are you doing tonight? You doing Fallout or you doing Minecraft? Or are you going to surprise us and do something like XCOM? Oh, by the way, I got a bigger Ford. Just so you know. Minecraft tonight, huh? Okay, fair enough. Weren't you saying something about because when I was listening, you were saying something about putting what was it, Fallout on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or was it Fallout Monday, Tuesday, and then Minecraft Wednesday and Thursday, Friday? I've slept since then. Not a lot, but I've slept some, so I can't remember. So everybody's in here. Just Damo over here. He does a lot of Minecraft and he does Fallout 4. He does some Fallout 76 as well. Uh, I did do Fallout 76, but with the amount of time that farming takes sometimes, I just don't have the time to do Fallout 76 anymore. Minecraft Monday, Tuesday. Okay, cool, cool. So yeah, there you go, folks. He's doing Fallout on Wednesday through Saturday, I believe, and Monday, Tuesday on Minecraft. Every now and then, I will get into Minecraft with him, and I will build stuff. And occasionally, I will go and help kill stuff, or I will go and be a moving target for him. So yeah, every now and then I will appear on his stream, and I do the occasional stream myself with it, but I haven't done it lately. Um, Again, this game save has been taking up a lot of my time, but I'm going to try to get back in there so that I can finish up that stupid village. Damn, yep. Fallout 4 is can be fun if anybody likes. If you watch the Fallout series on Amazon, I believe it's on Amazon. Um, you can kind of recreate that somewhat in Fallout 4. I believe the Fallout series. Correct me if I'm wrong, Damo, but wasn't the Fallout series on television actually an adaptation from Fallout 3? Because it seems like that's more similar to Fallout 3 than the Fallout 4 storyline to me. I know you haven't watched the actual series, but I thought you had talked about that at one point. Yeah, I'm doing a live tonight, kind of because I was unprepared to. I mean, I was going to do this whether I was recording or doing live. Um, but if I do it live, then I can do it later in on a Thursday. And I had a lot to get done earlier this morning, so uh, the live stream will probably end here in probably another 30 minutes or so. And I might be able to pop into Minecraft for a little bit. Okay, okay. But I remember Fallout 3 and the sort of the way that I guess I did watch a couple of the episodes of Fallout, the series on Amazon, and it kind of reminded me of um, later portions of Fallout 3 before you actually leave the vault in Fallout 3. That's why I was asking. I didn't. I forgot that the Priblin did. I haven't watched the entire thing, so I forgot that the Priblin showed up. So yeah, it's based more around Fallout 4. But yeah, guys, if you don't know anything about Fallout, go check it out. Anyone that likes kind of a first-person shooter slash post-apocalyptic game setting slash, um, you know, killing stuff, killing pixels, um, creating settlements, wearing power armor and using really big weapons like mini nukes and stuff like that, I think you would appreciate Fallout 4. But yeah, when are you about to start your stream, Damo? Well, the curious dogs are a remnant of the fallout from the nuclear blast that hit that area. So they're radioactive dogs, basically. It's basically what they are. Um, all right, brother, not a problem. Look, I am not even gonna lie. I do like making things explode. I'm not like I will not deny that in at all. Period. I do like explosions. They're fun. Yeah, but I don't think that curious dog is gonna let you hug him. And I think I don't think he wants to really hug you. I think he wants to eat you. So, you know, they're curious, all right. Curious about how you taste. And being the person I am, um, I don't really want anything taking a bite out of me. I don't appreciate that very much. He did try to eat you. I saw that. So yeah, we no. But yeah, I've got a little bit more windrowing here, and then I got some baling to do, and we'll be done with this for the night. I mean, I know everybody thinks this is boring. I kind of find it relaxing personally. And I want you to listen. When I get the baler out, I'm gonna try to get in close to the baler because I want you to listen. That baler can make kind of music if you listen to it. No, biting is not good. I mean, teach we teach our kids and our like dogs not to bite stuff. So I mean, like I tell my dog not to bite people. Of course, my dog's the one I had down in Australia was a really big dog, and it thought that it was a lap dog. Um, it was a cross. Um, it was a mastiff cross. It was a big old dog. Now I'm a big old boy. I'm 6'3", about 240 pounds. When the dog stood up on his hind legs, he could put his front paws on my shoulders. He was a big dog. He weighed around 100, 110 pounds, so he wasn't no lightweight. But he thought he was a lap dog, because all he wanted to do was come in and curl up on your lap, and he's that big. It's really it's very difficult to have him curl up on your lap, you know. But I did think it was funny because with the kids, he lay down in the floor and the kids would use him as a pillow. And he, never complained about it. He thought it was great. As long as somebody was touching him and he thought he was being petted, he was happy. I miss that dog. He's a good dog. All right, well, we've almost got this whooped. Uh, Definitely taking a lot less time. Hey, TBL, good to see you, man. How you been? Been taking care of yourself? How was your Christmas, New Year's? Everything been all right with you? Well, I greatly appreciate that, then. I really do. Um, I'm just sitting here tinkering around on my little survival challenge thing I got going on against myself. Um, Finally managed to get me a couple of the windrower so I can windrow 3 rows instead of one at a time. So I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I hadn't done a live since last week or week before. I can't remember last time I did live. So I figured I'd have it to go. But I do appreciate your support. Hopefully work's going well. I mean, if you got time to pop in and look, hopefully it's kind of quiet. There ain't nothing wrong with things being quiet. Quiet is good. Not a problem. Then you do what you got to do, man. So yeah, I do find doing this type of work like relaxing. I don't know about a lot of other people. Other people, I guess, find other things relaxing, but I think it's kind of cool just to be out on a tractor sometimes. And don't get me wrong, um, if you're out there on a tractor for a while, you put a 8 hour day in on a tractor, you're gonna know it. But there's a sense of accomplishment when you get done. Pretty nice. I swear, if I had me some straps, I'd strap those suckers together, closer together, fix it to where they didn't spread out when I took a swing. We do some redneck engineering on these things. I can tell you that right now. That's true. It's true. Mending fences is not relaxing, though. Hey, cousin Skeeter, appreciate you being here, man. Been a minute since I seen you. You been doing all right? Yeah, I got chains. I did flatbedding work for a long time, and I got chains out there in the shed, but I don't have them here on this save. Otherwise, I'd chain these suckers together. That's for sure. But like I said, as long as I'm going straight, they work. So we ain't complaining too much. So you staying busy, Skeeter? Is it work, life, um, your games, all the above? Well, I mean, busy can be good because, makes the day go by quicker. A happy New Year to you, sir. Hope you had a good Christmas, you and yours. All the above, gotcha. That is understandable. Well, I appreciate you being able to find the time to pop in. computer. I do. Been wondering about you. Um, I have had a chance to pop in and look at a couple of your videos, but I haven't had a chance to go through all of them because, um, well, just some real life stuff has come up. So between trying to do this game save, which is taking a while, and real life stuff, it's been a little bit busy for me too. But I am getting there, slowly but surely. What's that old saying? You get older, you get a little bit slower. Don't mean you can't do everything you used to. It just means you're a little bit slower. Oh, well, 2 weeks off work. Yeah, 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 yeah. I remember those times. You take 2 weeks off from work and then you come back and you wonder to yourself, why is there anybody else even here if they can't, like try to keep up with at least some of the stuff that I was doing? I understand that. There's one place I used to work um, down in Australia. Um, if you got a certain amount of overtime, it didn't you didn't get paid for it per se, but it went into a bank of hours. So once you had a certain amount of hours in, when it got toward the end of the financial year, they required you to take off those hours or as many of them as you could. Well, there was one week there now. My normal hours for a week was 38 hours. Um, I had saved up so many. I had gained so many hours in my bank that I could take off for 2.5 months. And they just flat out looked at me and said there was no way they could afford for me to be off for 2.5 months. I took a month off. They paid me out the other month and a half. But when I came back, it was like nobody else there knew how to do what I'd been doing. So I had a month's worth of work that I had to take care of. Boy, I tell you, that was But on the other side of the coin, I guess it's a good thing because, if you're the only one that really knows how to do your job well, then I guess you have job security, right? Oh, good. Goobly goo. No, never have been big on meetings. I understand their purpose, but yeah. I mean, to me, that's just yeah, like Miss Hillbilly said, that's just job security. But yeah, I understand the purpose of having a meeting so that everybody's on the same page and everybody knows what the right hand knows what the left hand is doing, all that nifty stuff. But yeah, I'm not exactly well, that's probably one of the reasons I've owned my own businesses for a while because I know I can depend on myself. So yeah, welcome back, Miss Hillbilly. Appreciate you being here. Let's see here. Almost finished with this. And somehow I managed to get off of my 3 rows, and yeah, I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. Well, that's good. I mean, uh, it sounds good, Skeeter. Is it going to lower our oil prices? Is it going to make gas cheaper? Because if so, let me know where I'm supposed to send the case to. Because yeah, I'm sure there's more than a few people that would appreciate lowering of fuel prices. I missed a couple of bits there. Yep, 3, 4, 5. Close enough. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we were talking about earlier, being able to put a chain between them or something. Because they're a little bit floppy, if you ask me. But, you know, uh, considering this is the only thing I could get in a used vehicle um, sales, I just sort of had to be happy, if you know what I mean. We're going to stick these here for the time being. They are not easy to put away. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm assuming that you're still going to need some folks on the drill rig, right? I mean, unless they're the. Wait, what? I hit the wrong name button. Look at that. Unless you got robots that are changing the pipe out. I mean, you could have. I'm not sure. Surely your that'll be your roustabouts, your floor hands. Well, there's a few fellows that worked that. I had cousins and uncles that worked offshore on drilling platforms. One of them was a chef out there. Well, I say he was a chef. He was a cook, and he worked out there and got paid pretty decent. Of course, them boys put long hours in out there. But I will say one thing about robotics. I know a lot of people like going to that, and I think it will help, but we can't ever think that robots are as smart or smarter than humans, because yes, working offshore rigs is dangerous. Um, I had one of my cousins. He was up in West Virginia. He worked offshore, and They were uh, bringing pipe around, and he was on the floor. They're bringing a pipe around, and somehow it slipped loose, hit him in the back, and knocked him off the top of the rig into a pipe storage location down below. And it broke just about every bone in his face, like his cheekbones and stuff like that, from the fall. He had to have a lot of different surgeries and everything. But he got out of offshore work after that. He actually wound up becoming a game warden up in West Virginia. So it can be dangerous. Well, I would imagine it does. So you need a windshield wiper on the cameras, basically, is what you're saying, right? I guess you could just hire somebody to go around with some Windex and a rag, and you know, well, who's training them on it, Skeeter? Like, who's training them on the software? Y'all got, is that another part of your team that trains them on the software? I forgot to reset my counter. What is it? I think it's Alt X, yeah, Alt X. That's 30. Okay. Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, at least they can still do something. Stand back, watch, clean, keep the cameras clean. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured somebody would have to train them on that software. It is interesting that, I mean, the robotics is putting the pipe on and all that nifty stuff. I'd like to see that in action. Ain't too bad of a harvest on this meadow grass. It's been pretty good. Getting almost 2 bales per run. That's not, well, and this is on the short runs. That's not bad at all. I appreciate that, Skeeter. I mean, like I said, I've had cousins and uncles and all that stuff that work on offshore rigs basically all their lives. I got several friends here still that work on offshore rigs. So yeah, it would be interesting to see. I had buddies of mine that kept asking me if I wanted to go offshore, and I was like, nope, no thank you. Well, it's good money. It's like, well, I make good money driving a truck too. But apparently the robotics and automation's trying to take that job away from us too. So, I mean, eventually it's going to reach a point where you got to ask yourself, okay, if we automate everything, what are humans going to do? Oh, okay. Land-based rigs. Okay. Yeah, well, I live in Mississippi, so uh, most of our fellows here we were offshore out into the Gulf of, well, it's called the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America now, but it used to be the Gulf of Mexico. So they really have cracked down on been cracking down on the immigrant drivers that are over here for driving big trucks as well. So yeah, yeah. Y'all do much out there in the Permian Basin, Skeeter? I know y'all got a lot. I know there's a lot of oil fields out in that area. I just don't know, like producing oil fields or what. I do know that there's been the whole thing about the fracking and all that stuff. I just hadn't really kept up with it. Yeah, well, apparently we're getting some oil from Venezuela. Apparently, I am curious as to whether our strategic oil reserves are back up to good levels. All right, TBL, take care of yourself. Appreciate you dropping through, man. I'm not going to be on much longer, I don't think. I just got some baling to get done, and, well, you know, baling. The tractor is a little bit loud for you to be able to hear the sound of the baler, but yeah, it makes it's pretty cool. Take care of yourself, TBL. Hope you continue to have a quiet night. So we are up to 13. Okay. Well, there you go. Started making TMR mixers back in the 50s. Well, I don't think it'd be much of an issue for me to plant a TMR facility. And that way I don't have to get a mixer wagon. Because getting mixer wagons is, it's just easier to dump the grass and stuff into a facility. Just gotta figure out my silage, my hay, and once I got those figured out, we should be good. We should be golden. And then we can put us a cow, a dairy queen and a beef cow pen up over there somewhere. We will be walking in high cotton. Yeah, I was going to Google that because I was pretty sure I've seen fermenting silos before. And I have seen dryer silos before. Yeah, I've got to see if I can find those. I'm not really doing vintage per se on this game save. I am doing free 2000, and I'm only using as realistic stuff as I possibly can. So I'll have to have a look see at what I have available. I mean, I like the fermenting silo and the silage silo I've got and the hay dryer because they look like Quonset huts. And believe me, Quonset huts have been around forever. So I'm pretty sure that somebody would have come up with that idea and figured it out and made that happen. I'm not 100% sure if that was actually a thing or not, but if if somebody could make something out of a Quonset hut, they'll probably do it. They're one of the cheaper things to buy. Because silos ain't cheap. Like, yeah, they're just not cheap. It does look like I am going to have to plow again on that part I've already plowed, which it's fine. I'm not real fond of their natural disasters or Cousin Skeeter. The hail damage is just a bit of a joke. If it's gonna, I haven't actually even had hail in this game yet, and yet I somehow managed to get hail damage. Figure that one out. I do love these work lights though. I mean, it's almost like daylight around the tractor here. And just think, we've been at this for almost a little over well, about 2 hours. And I still ain't finished baling. So, yeah, 3 cuts a month or 3 cuts in a year. Yeah, it's easily 6+ hours just cutting. And this is going fast. Um, yeah. Yeah, I wondered if it was hail damage or, I mean, if it was a disease or blight or even random like locusts or something like that. I might be able to understand, but just hail damage? That's weird because I've never seen hail damage like that. I've seen hail damage on crops. It ain't pretty. And the crops are basically done. And it ain't just part of the crop, it's the whole crop. I mean, there might be some that's salvageable, but yeah, it just really depends. Well, it depends on the size of the hail. It depends on the directions it's blowing. It depends on how much it comes down, etc., etc., and so on. I mean, you get freaking baseball size hail, them crops ain't gonna be worth nothing. Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I thought for a minute there it was UFOs doing crop circles or something the way it looked. That's what it looked like to me. It's like, wait, is there UFOs in this game? Because I don't recall seeing that in the notes. And why are they doing crop circles in my crops? I don't appreciate that very much. Well, it's November and it's 5 o'clock. Sun's setting. Um, I'm a little bit. I know it's weird. Like I said, well, I mean, look at. I'll show you. Yeah. Look. What does that look like to you? I mean, it looks like snowflakes to me, kinda. Um, yeah. I mean, that's just weird. And then they're gonna tell me that's hail damage. That's just weird. Well, the thing about it is I've had the natural disasters turned on, but if a tornado come through, I might be able to understand it. If a hurricane come through, I live in basically Hurricane Alley down here. I can understand that. But for you to just put little crop circles in there every time I turn around, I mean, it happened constantly on Welker's Farm, and I was always having to plow on that. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm getting really tired. I mean, I don't mind periodic plowing. I actually have periodic plowing turned on. But if I don't need to, every year I'm having to do it because somebody decided to plant crop circles. No, thank you. I've actually turned it off this as well. Um, I'm pretty sure I turned it off. Hang on. Snow is on. Yeah, I've disabled it. I just got tired of it. And like I say, I haven't even seen hail on this map. I've seen rain, but not hail. There's been no hail since I started this save. There hasn't even been snow. The horses don't poop. Seriously? That's the weirdest horse I've ever heard of in my lifetime. I don't think I've ever had a horse that didn't poop. Usually in places that you didn't want it to. There's actually a mod, or I heard about a mod that where the chickens do poop and you can actually use the chicken poop for fertilizer. But it's a mod, mind you. Well, I agree, Miss Hillbilly. There are a few things in this game that they definitely should be more worried about. I mean, to me, like, okay, you put horses in the game, but you didn't put in horse-drawn wagons, or horse-drawn plows, or horse-drawn anything. But you can ride around on a horse. Okay, well, what about making racing horses? Can you do that? No, apparently not. So apparently horses are just there to be looked at. Makes no sense. I mean, it's about like chickens. If you were actually running a commercial chicken farm, there's not a single chicken coop in this game that resembles a chicken farm. I live in Mississippi. We've got a lot of chicken plants down here, just like Arkansas. Arkansas's got a lot of chicken plants, and Um, we have a ton of chicken farms, and there ain't a single chicken farm I've seen that in this game, like, you can't make a chicken farm in this game. Like, I guess you could, but not at the commercial level scale. I mean, I drove trucks for a living, and I've hauled and picked up from plenty of chicken plants. I've seen chicken farms, the whole 9 yards. You know, you can put 300 chickens in a coop or 500 chickens in a coop. How about trying like 3,000, 5,000, 7,000? That's commercial chicken farming, not this piddling stuff. And then they brought in Highlands fishing, and I'm like, fishing? Really? You can't even get chicken coops right. I do find that amusing, though, that the chickens don't poop. Actually, chicken poop is probably one of the better fertilizers there is, but you gotta be careful with it because it will burn things if you're not careful to burn, like If you're using it for fertilizer, it'll burn your crops. It could burn your um, grass, whatever you're putting it on. It could burn it. So you gotta be careful about how you apply it. They took out ducks. Well, what were the ducks useful for anyway? What the chicken poop? The fertilizer? I don't know what you're talking about right there. You talking about the poop or you talking about eggs? I mean, 'cause you got different chicken farms. You got the laying farms, which obviously is laying eggs, and then you got the commercial grade um, um, meat farms. So, oh well, yeah, it is hot. Like it's very acidic. If you don't watch it, like I said, you can burn your grass and stuff. True. I mean, I've used chicken poop for fertilizer. I've used and obviously cow patties. Cow patties ain't too bad, but normally you just let them sit for a bit. Then you take your um, oh, what's it called? It ain't really a rake, but they kind of call it a rake. It's just made out of chains and stuff. And you can just scrape across the top, bust it up as you're going across. It helps. Um, and then of course you got the manure spreaders and all that nifty stuff. So there's lots of ways that you can fertilize. But yeah, you gotta kind of wait on the chicken poop. That's not something you want to put down straight away. You will burn your crops. But it is a good fertilizer. Well, I don't know about the best. Um, I mean, like, you know, we don't have horses down here, so we use cow manure. Um, that's what we use for fertilizer. We use what we got on hand. And if you're fertilizing a lot of acreage, that's a lot of horses that you're gonna need to get all the manure from. Whereas if you just got cows walking around, well, you know, basically they're yeah, that makes sense. I've never really had horses. Only only met like two in my whole life. And somebody's like, try riding this one. I ain't never rode in my life. And I'm like, okay. I said, get up on him and grab hold of the reins. I did all that, and then the horse just walks off and takes me out through the trees. It's like, okay, this is interesting. Well, I don't. Mm, might be a few minutes before I get all this done. I forgot this thing only runs at 10 mile an hour. Of course, that is better than some of them. But we're putting out a fair few. Yeah, we're up to 41. That's not bad. 41 at 6,500 liters each. Pretty dang good. Yeah, I've never owned a horse. My daughters wanted a pony, and I'm like, where am I going to put a pony? I have a backyard about as big as a postage stamp. Where do you expect me to put a pony? That's when I was living in Australia. They wanted one of those. Oh, look, my favorite vampire has arrived. Welcome in, Mr. Stu. Appreciate you being here. I always enjoy saying my favorite vampire, night owl, whatever you want to call yourself. I always appreciate you dropping by. And Miss Ebony as well. Greatly appreciated. We just we're just getting grass. That's all we're doing. Just getting baling grass. Probably gonna turn some of it into hay. Probably gonna turn some of it into silage as soon as I get around to putting up a hay dryer and a fermenter. I had to make some TMR here before too long. So yeah, I don't know much about horses at all there, Miss Dust Bunny. Well, I do know they like to eat. Apparently they like oats. So that's about all I know about them. Can you make a triangle shaped rice field? Because I'd like to see that. And I could understand the Bermuda Triangle thing. That would be cool. Because you would definitely get lost. 40 acres of rice field? I'd be lost. And just like the Bermuda Triangle, you wouldn't find me in it either. I ain't getting in a 40-acre rice field. I want nothing to do with that. I have thought about putting a rice field on this map. I ain't made up my mind about that yet because it requires specific equipment. But yeah, I'm gonna think about it. Which farm? Now that would be kind of cool too. That would be interesting. A rainbow of crops. I mean, you could get the blue, or not the blue. You could get the red from sorghum, yellow from oats or wheat. Have you got lavender? Put lavender in. I think, isn't there a mod you can do lavender? Okay. I'll have to go have a look. Nandenthal. Is that, how do you pronounce that? Now that would be cool. Yeah. Lucky Charms. I like that. Just those rows right there. I'm prepping Skeeter for TMR mixing. So um, that's why I'm baling. And I didn't realize that, you know, it's a pretty big field. Now part of it's going to be gone because I am going to be making this is my last cut for this. So like this is the last time I'll be cutting the entirety of this because I'm gonna make a dairy barn or dairy pen um, along this area here. And then I'm also going to have a beef cattle. I have dairy cattle and beef cattle. So some of this space is going to be taken up. So this is going to be this is my last final cut of all of this area. And then I'm going to have to do plowing in the other part of the area. I'm going to plant actual grass because I'll need to keep up with TMR. Because like on Welker's farm, I was able to run 1,100 or 1,000 and something head of cattle there, but I just didn't have enough TMR mixed up that I could keep up with 1,000 freaking cattle. So I'm gonna see how I go. I am putting beef cattle on here and dairy cattle, so I'm gonna see how I go with those. See what kind of money we make out of them. See whether it's worth having the beef cattle. I mean, we're always gonna need beef cattle on a homestead. Send it to the butcher so we can have some food, but I don't know if it's gonna be worth turning into a production, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know whether it would be worth having um, a full-on beef cattle production farm. We'll see. If it's not worth it, I can always take it out. Base game rice. Okay. I don't think the. I think water buffalo's a nifty concept, but I ain't never seen a water buffalo in my lifetime. I mean, i.e., being used for buffalo milk or whatever you want to call it. Not here in the U.S. So more than likely, I am not going to put any buffalo milk, like water buffalo, in. That's just not really my thing. I mean, water buffalo are more what Eastern type setup, like I say Eastern, more Asiatic, I guess you would say, is where you'd find more of those, I think. I mean, because weren't they pretty prominent on the Hutai map? I can't remember the name of the map. Hutan Paitai or whatever the heck that thing is. I thought they were more. Yeah, I thought they were more centered around the Asiatic areas. So more than likely, no, no water buffalo. Because I've already considered this to be somewhere in the U.S. So yeah, Bhutan Pantai, that one, yeah. So yeah, no, no water buffalo. I'm gonna stick with what I know on this one. Although technically, I might change up and do some different crops. Do we know if there's a mod that we can get pumpkin pie? I'd like to make some pumpkin pie. I think that would be really, really cool. Grow pumpkins and make pumpkin pie. I used to make sweet potato pie, and I used there's a liqueur over in Australia I used to use to make it. I can't remember the name of that liqueur, but it turned out really, really good. Turned out really good. Yeah, if you're able to find it, just send it to me in Discord, please. That would be interesting, because I know we have pumpkin and I think it's pumpkin greenhouses. You made a grass field the size of Manhattan State? No, I have a recipe for pumpkin pie. I can make my own pumpkin pie. I'm talking about eating a game. I like to be able to make pumpkin pie in a game. Like plant and harvest pumpkins and make pumpkin pie in the game. That would be cool. That's what I think. Especially around like October. That'd be really cool. You have a green. How many greenhouses have you got, Stu? Kahlua. That's it. I used to put Kahlua in sweet potato pie with a few other spices. Turned out really, really good. Stu, I think you've just described every person in the world that may need some possible psychological help. I think we all might at some point or another in our lifetimes. So, not a surprise there. Just saying. Yeah, Kahlua, let's see, it was Kahlua, and there were a couple of other spices that I would put in with the Kahlua to make into a sweet potato pie. You could also do a pumpkin pie using the same recipe with the same spices because I tried it and they both turned out really, really well. I do like cooking. Um, I'm not always good at it, but yeah, my first pie was actually making a sweet potato pie, and the second one was a pumpkin pie. So, and they turned out really, really well. But I think I'm going to call it here. We've been going for like 2.5 hours. I still have not finished up this dang thing here yet. Uh, Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. Steve. Four of them. Me not paying attention and looking over at my other screen, I missed this bit. But I think I'm gonna finish this up um, off camera. We have already got 66 of these bales. 56 rice fields. Holy crap! You you are the rice king. You are the rice king there, Steve. That's all I can say, House. Because there ain't no way I'd have 56 rice fields. That would drive me nuts. Um, just money. I have no idea how to do a raid or whatever it's called. So the likelihood of that happening is basically nil. Because I literally have no idea how to do that. That's one of those things that will have to just happen. Um, I mean, if somebody else was honestly, if I could do a raid, I would, but I have no idea how to do that. That's one of those things I'll have to learn, because I'm just a little bit of a newbie at this. Yeah, I'll probably pop in, see him. Right now, I need to set some other stuff up and go and have a chat to someone, and then I need to do a few other things. But guys, I greatly appreciate you all being here. 2.5 million liters of grass. And people were wondering about me making grass. And all I got is I like 70 bales at 6,500 liters. Um, yeah, that's 2.5 million liters. Wow. I bet you could make a lot of TMR out of that, Steve. But anyway, guys, like I said, I got 3 rows left, and then I have to pick up all the bales, and then I have to sleep through the night and all that nifty stuff. Um, appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully it wasn't too boring, but this is part of the game. Um, especially when you're getting ready to introduce dairy queens and beef cattle. You got to make as much of this as you can possibly get so that you can start prepping to make TMR. Mainly for the dairy cows, because that's 100% productivity from them. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. Um, appreciate you being here. Appreciate you taking time to stop through, have a chat. Um, can't express my appreciation for that. And we will catch up with you later. We may do another live over the weekend since I'm not actually doing a recording for tomorrow morning. So, I really appreciate you being here, Miss Hillbilly. Greatly appreciate that. Stu, Skeeter, all of you, take care of yourselves. And we will catch up with you guys at another point in the near future. Take care, guys. Talk to you later. Have a great